Hello there, everybody. How's everybody doing? Got a little review here today. As you can tell from the title, I love when people try to, create suspense. Like, I got a little something, blah, 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 blah. Then, ta-da! It's in the title. So, it's not a surprise, Anyways. Yeah, the Samurai Competition RDA by the Cloud Factory. Comes in this nice little bamboo box. Well, it's wood, but it's got a bamboo little, thingy over it. It says Cloud Factory, their Facebook group, Samurai Stainless. Serial number 1152. So I'm not one of the first ones to get it. But I don't see much talk about it. So, open this up. And you got a bunch of stuff in here. You got your base. You got your sleeve. Where's that little samurai? There you go. You got your airflow ring, airflow control ring. You got the standard top cap with standard drip tip. And you got a chuff style, this is what they call the competition drip tip, that you can put in place of this one here. And what else you got? You got this little Allen key, one O-ring. And a couple of screw heads if you prefer these style X instead of the regular ones. I've been using this non-stop for 3 weeks. Finally just pulled the build out like right now, right before making the video. So yeah, what do I think about it? Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, this is a great RDA. I really liked it. I think it clouds really nice, stands up to the name competition. You can definitely take this to a comp and win. It's also a great all-day vape atomizer because the flavor is really intense in this thing. I've never been one to say that there's like big differences in RDAs. Oh, this one's for flavor, this one's for cloud chasing, this one's for your all-day vape, this one's from where you're calling your mom. I don't see much difference personally, but as soon as I built this and I started vaping on it, I was like, man, the flavor on this thing, woo, really pops. So yeah, basically I do like it, but there are some issues with it that I hope they will fix in the next version, if there is a next version. I would love to see another version of this with a couple little adjustments to it that I think would make this one of the top RDAs out there, if these little things could be fixed. So, alright, let's start with the base. You got a pretty nice, deep juice well on there. Pretty decent post holes. Dual 18 gauge, not a problem. 16, I don't know. I don't have any 16 gauge. I've never tried it, so I have no idea. 18 gauge fits fine. Let's just open up this, just the middle one, just to show how much space you got in there. There you go. You can see better. Pretty darn big. What's interesting about this atomizer is it has, as you can see, it has airflow on the bottom here that goes inside your base there, that hits directly onto the coil. And you also have, as you can tell from the cap here, there's your bottom airflow. You also have a Cyclops style airflow, like sort of like a Zenith or Stellara, or you know, a lot of atomizers out there are using Cyclops. That's nothing new, but yeah, there you go. You got like 2 airflow, and you can adjust both. Sort of, you'll see. Your airflow ring says Samurai on one side, Competition on the other. Well, there you go. Like I said, flavor is great. Chasing clouds on this thing, really nice. I'll post up some. I'll just do it right now. I'll cut this video and I'll post a couple little clips that I've done with this atomizer, trying to chase some clouds. See how it does. Alright, so as you can tell, the cloud's really nice. It stands up to the name Competition RDA. And like I said, it's great for all-day vape. But here's the little issues I have with it. When it comes to dripping into this atomizer, that's where the problem, for me, seems to arise. Let's put it on here. You have pretty much 3 options if you wanna drip. You can drip directly in the top, but the thing is, if you do that and you put 1 drop too much, it's gonna leak out these bottom airflow holes here. So that kind of sucks a little bit. So what are your other options? Well, you can take off this cap here. And this is what I would like to see the most on the next version. Why don't you have just a press fit removable top cap? You know, like my favorite, still my favorite RDA, the TOBH. Just take it off, drip, put it back on. Bingo bango. On this, you have to unscrew it, drip, screw it back on, and you got to make sure your airflow ring hasn't moved, because the airflow ring is really, you know, so you have to hold down your airflow ring and then screw it back on again. Kind of a pain in the ass. So what's your other option? Take the whole cap off. But that's what I thought I would do after screwing around with it for a couple hours. I said, I'm just going to take the top cap off. The top cap is really tight, but you know, it's livable. But the thing is, this little bottom airflow here will eat through your top ring here when you put it on, take it off, put it on, adjust it. You're going to eat through that ring right there. I think that's probably why they put 1 O-ring in there, because they know that you're not going to have any issues with the bottom O-ring, but the top one is an issue, because those bottom airflow holes will dig into that O-ring. And you see, if I look at it here, you probably can't see it on camera. Oh yeah, maybe. You see, it chewed through that top O-ring pretty much everywhere. So that's the biggest issue I've had with it. You know, all 3 options for dripping kind of suck. You know, here's how I set it up so that I could use it all the time without it leaking, without unscrewing it, and without having to take the top off and eating through that top O-ring all the time. What I did is close off the bottom, which, you know, that kind of kills the intent of the atomizer. I mean, the cool thing about it is you have two airflow holes, one at the bottom hitting underneath the coil, and one straight onto the coil, the Cyclops. So when you close it off, you kind of, you know, the whole idea of the atomizer is like, I'm just going to use the top Cyclops. So that's actually how I used it all 3 weeks. That's how I used it in the video clips you just saw. I just closed off the bottom. But here's the thing. These two holes, you can't move like one and not the other. You know, it's all part of the same cap. So if you do close off here, if you would put it like this, it would be open. If you put it like this, you would close off the bottom airflow. It's not even completely closed off. There you go. Now it's completely closed off. But here's the problem. When you do that, you just moved your top Cyclops airflow thingamajig. You just moved it to the left or to the right, depending where. So you can't do centered coils anymore. See the problem? Now your airflow is hitting diagonally, so you have to put your coil over here, not over here, and not centered. Well, you can do centered, but the airflow is gonna hit from the sides, you know. So those are a little couple issues I had with it at first. At first, I was like, man, I was kind of disappointed, but once I got it set up like I wanted to, where I thought it should be, then all gravy, baby. So there you go. I mean, it has issues, but it is a great flavor chaser. It is a great cloud chaser. Would I recommend it? Sure, as long as you're aware of all the little flaws that it has. The machining on the ring is very nice. The machining on the deck is very nice. The sleeve, though, I don't know what happened to the sleeve. You know, the reason why it's eating through the top O-ring is because machining in here is kind of rough. It's kind of sharp. The cutouts are a little bit sharp, and this, where the threads are on the inside, it's so sharp that if I were to like clean it real fast without thinking about it, I would most definitely cut my finger really nicely and deeply, and there would be blood everywhere, and I would have to put a tampon on my finger. Another thing that I think where quality lacks a little bit, this whoa, come here, motherfucker. This competition style chuff style cap here, really thin plastic, very thin. You know, I don't know if you can see it, but I can squeeze it. Burp, 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 burp. Hasn't been an issue, but it kind of feels like it lacks quality because of this. You know, like your standard chuff style cap is pretty thick, very strong. This very thin, flimsy. You can bend it. Burp, burp, burp. I don't know. Maybe that's a plus. I mean, if you drop it on the floor instead of cracking, it'll bounce off. I don't know. But there you go. Cloud Factory, MCM. You guys, if you're watching this review, I hope you will do another version of this atomizer and address some of the issues that I've talked about with it. I would love to try version 2 of this with a couple of little flaws taken out the way. And to be able to, you know, what I think would be the best upgrade you could do would just be to, instead of having this screw on, have it pop off and back on. I think just that right there would solve a lot of issues, because you'll be able to run with the bottom airflow open without being too worried about it over dripping, because you'll be able to see what the hell you're doing, how much juice you're putting in there, making sure you're not getting juice inside those airflow holes on the deck just by popping this off. And in order to do this, have the airflow ring just a little bit tighter so you don't have to hold it down when you pop it off and pop it back on. So just those few little, you know, adjustments, tighter airflow ring, being able to pop off the top and pop it back on, you'd have a lot of improvement just with those little things that are pretty easy to do, I imagine. I don't know, I'm not a machinist, but I imagine that would be very easy to do. And also try to make sure that machining wise those little burrs are taken care of, you know, just a little bit more quality control on the sleeve there. The rest of it is very high quality, very nicely done, very nicely machined. And the top, not saying that it doesn't look good, I mean it looks great, the outside and everything looks great, but the threads, all the cutouts are sharp, and that's kind of annoying at that price point, which was I think this thing is around $115, $120. I think at that price point, a little bit more quality control, better machining would be expected. So there you go. There's my thoughts on the Samurai Competition RDA. I have to tell you, everybody knows I'm a huge fan of the TOBH. I'm still a huge fan of the TOBH. It's still my #1 atomizer. But that being said, this is the closest thing I've tried so far that I could live with if I didn't have a TOBH. I mean, this is a nice RDA. I do like it. This falls #2 on my list of RDAs, and if you could fix those little issues that I was talking about, who knows, maybe #1. But because of those little issues, I'm still back in a TOBH. But I've used this for 3 weeks straight without using anything else, which is unheard of for me. Because every time I get a new RDA, I usually use it 2, 3, 4 days max. Then it goes into a pile of stuff I don't use anymore, and I take my TOBH back out. But I've used this for 3 weeks straight, and I will continue to use this as a secondary atomizer on the rotation. So there you go. I hope everybody enjoyed the review. And Cloud Factory MCM, if you guys are watching this, thank you very much for sending me the RDA to test out and to try. I love it. Like I said, a couple issues. I hope you guys take that under consideration and fix it for the next version. I would love to see version 2 of this. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day, motherfuckers.